Greetings and welcome everyone to today's class. First, before we get started, I want to just share something for our archives, and that is about the Aesir. They've been written about in histories, the Aesir and the Vanir. As the Aesir are essentially Zeus was an Aesir essentially, so Anu is an Aesir. Um, but I just wanted to say for the archive that the Aesir are the Anunnaki, they are the Kirin, they are the Hippogriff, and they are the Griffin. All of the Aesir are from Nibiru Prime. I don't know anything about um, the Vanir, but they're from Vanaheim, apparently. And that is a much more peaceful place. So I don't want to say too much about what's it called? Asgard, but it's a domain of war and order, apparently. And we all know the dragons are very organized and warrior like. So I just wanted to share that real quick. All right. So Searching asked me for an exercise to get rid of negative energies. I don't know how many people can create portals, but for those who can create portals, I would recommend that you learn to use them tactically whenever you have heavy energies around you that are really uncomfortable to have in your field. So first you'll need to create, if I open up my hands like this, I'm programmed to create the portal essentially. So never leave a portal open unmonitored. Let's just say always close it afterwards. So you're going to want to open a portal, and I've been sending them to Helheim, and I've been sending them to Jotunheim, whoever I remove from my field. But that's because I've had Anunnaki and giants in my field. They're very heavy. They feed off of emotions, negative emotions. So I just want them out of my field so I can grow. If they're hanging around, I don't grow. So I create the portal and I watch them get sucked into the portal. And I just keep it there. I'll adjust the flow of the portal if they're resisting it. So it becomes a super vacuum, or maybe it becomes a black hole, or it becomes something very powerful. And if they're so big and so strong and they're holding on the sides of the portal, I'll just expand the size of the portal so that their hands can't reach the outsides anymore. And then they will inevitably get sucked into that place. So once you create a portal, I don't know if I could teach everybody how to create a portal. If some people just intuitively create them to dispose of energies or entities. If you're doing that already, then this is a more advanced exercise. But you'll want to program where the portal goes to and how long they're going to have to stay in that place for. Um, yes, we've learned about the Jotun sphere in the past. This is how Odin prevented the giants from accessing mankind. So it's essentially trapped them behind this giant ice wall, is the legend. But it's actually like, if you've seen K-pop Demon Hunters, they have something called the Harmon or the Hamon. It's bands of energy that keep the demons out of the humans' realm. It's the same thing, essentially. So, yeah, that's the exercise, more or less. Any questions? Max? And then Kurt.
Hi, Dave.
Hey,
So when you said you program the portal and you send it, do you when you program, do you ask for transformation or what? How do you program that part?
I programmed the destination as to where they're going once they enter into this portal and how
And
long
what
will
was
they stay there for.
it? So after that, you don't have any responsibility about them anymore, do you?
No,
No. So you're not looking for killing or damaging or anything like that, do you?
not anymore. It takes way too much energy to do that.
Okay.
they're way too well bred, let's just say. Maybe that's not the best. They're way too numerous to just kill every single one of them astrally.
So if they come, you just keep on throwing into that portal that you already had created, right?
Yeah. And my guides will say, this is a Jotunheim one, send them there instead. And sometimes they'll say, this is a Helheim being. If they're like a very evil being, they get sent to Helheim, essentially.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And if
Okay.
they're just like trying to dampen me, I send them to Jotunheim to cool off for a little bit.
But they come back, correct? Or
No,
not?
they've never come back before.
Oh, okay. Okay, good to know that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. And so this is the thing that I can't quite explain. This is definitely more advanced. I don't know how I did it either, but I was creating these portals for 2 weeks, maybe a bit more time. And eventually, Thea helped me to create a demiurge to essentially be a portal on autopilot.
Oh,
So if an Anunnaki or giant came into my field, they would just automatically deal with it if it's under a certain power level. And that has given me just peace and quiet for the last like 2 to 3 days.
I think that would be probably more portable, correct? Just kind of it's around us wherever we are.
Yeah, like an astral pet almost.
Yeah, so how do you program? How do you make that?
Honestly, I was just creating portal after portal after portal until one day a portal started to talk to me, as crazy as this sounds.
Yeah.
And I said, it had a pretty heavy energy. I was like, what are you? And they said, you created us. And I said,
Oh,
okay, are you a demiurge or lemon scum? Like, or what are you? And they said demiurge. And I was like, okay. And so I said, all right, your programming is to keep me safe, to remove any beings from this dimension to this dimension. And this is where you're going to be sending them. And they said, this is our job.
so would that be like an AI type of thing?
Kind of felt like something like that.
But more alive. It sounds more alive, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or more energy. I don't know how to call that.
It's a sixth dimensional, they told
Oh,
me.
oh, okay, six dimension. So your portals were six dimension
I don't know, but the
or higher?
demiurge is.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But I honestly don't know how I made it. I just kept making portals, and then one day they started speaking back.
I suppose they had enough energy to be talking to you, to relating to you. You made that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions, Sir Kurt?
Um, I talked about this when we had telepathy cast, but I think it was my second or third telepathy. I was attacked, and I spent myself being a novice at it. I spent myself just defending myself first with a knife through my head, getting rid of that, and then it changed. And naturally, I didn't even think about it. I opened a hole once I sensed where the energy was. In other words, it was distracting me by making me fight something, and I had to sense the energy where it was, open the portal, dispose of it, and then I circled to close it, and it was just total natural. I mean, I never thought about it before, and it brought tears to my eyes afterwards that I was able to even think of doing something like that. You know, transfer from the blocking the defend to actually find the energy and dispose of it. So it was cool. I wish we could do more telepathy like we did before. You know, it would be great to have a bridge like that to practice something like that. Anyway,
I agree. Great job, by the way. Not everyone, I don't think everyone can create portals, but doing that gives you so much power.
oh, I was crying afterwards. It was awesome.
So I always
So,
create the portal behind the being and get the jump on them. If you tell them that you're gone once I get back home from my drive, they'll leave
Mm.
if they think that you can deal with them. And if they think that you can't deal with them, they'll say, give it a try or go for it. They will definitely taunt you. They'll say, I don't think you can. I don't think you're strong enough. But they've been wrong so far. So good job. Anyone else? Questions, comments, portals? Kurt.
what gesture because that's what made me think of what gesture would you use to close a portal? Because that, if you have that already pre-thought out, that's what helps you focus your energy on what you're trying to create.
So I align mine with a mechanical gesture. So this is opening it and this is closing it for me. But
Okay.
sometimes I'll close them like this, and then this is how I close or seal them. This gesture. So I'll close the portal and then I'll seal it.
Okay. And then for me, I circled around the energy, threw it out the hole, and then kind of just sealed it. It's kind of anyway. Mentally, you have to have this kind of process.
Yes. And
Yeah.
everyone has their own way of doing things in the
Yeah.
astral as
Oh,
well.
okay.
One thing that I'd advise anyone that tries to use this technique is don't push them in with your hands. Like if you close your eyes, don't imagine you and with astral hands pushing them with your astral body, because you don't want to entangle to them while they're going into that portal. Okay, so you don't want to be thinking about them at all if possible. Just think the portal's going to do its job, and you can just watch them get sucked into the portal. Don't talk to them while they're leaving or getting pushed or sucked into that portal. Don't think about them. Just watch the portal do its job. Because if you're thinking about them, you're entangling to them and they're getting sucked into a portal, right? You don't want to be a part of that. Max?
Would that work to close portals in a home?
Yes. You
The
can
same
use this
way?
for natural portals that to do grid work, for example.
Yeah.
You can use this in people's houses to close rifts, gateways. I'm sure you could close a Stargate as well if it didn't have technology holding it open.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Cool. Any other questions before we get started? All right, let's get into her. So Thea is going to be our teacher for today. Thea is a Titaness.
And next.
Yes, of Elysium. She's not from Unity. Rather, she is from Unity, is what I meant to say, not from Duality. So I'm going to channel, and I'll be right back on the other side.
So, David,
Yes.
when do you want the class end it?
So the normal schedule is approximately 1 hour from 1 hour and 15 minutes from this point right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Up to that amount of time.
Okay.
All right. All right, let's get started. I have to mention one thing. She's just prompting me to tell you guys. So the ninth dimension is like the sun in the sky. But beings like giants or Anunnaki or other more malevolent beings like galactics and spirits, not spirit entities, they're like clouds in the sky. Okay. If there's too many clouds, it's going to look like a cloudy day and you're not going to be able to access or see the sun. So this is why it's so important to keep your field clear of from malevolent beings or beings that don't want you to feel good and feel happy and have a great life. So that's why I portal these things away to have a clear sky so I can see the light. So Thea is the light. If you've done any research on Thea, goddess of light and emanation, essentially. So, all right, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. We are Thea or Golden, whatever you prefer.
Greetings, Thea.
Greetings, Golden.
Greetings, Thea.
It's it's nice to be here. We're still adjusting with the channel. We hope you've all been practicing your breathing exercise. If you haven't tried it at least once, you should try the 4 breath breathing in exercise. Like this, for example, and fill up all those parts of your lungs that the real estate that don't typically get used. We think that will be excellent for your health, excellent for your frequencies, and excellent for your body and vitality as well. Very good. Do we have any questions?
Yes. Hmm. Thea, we have question from Nick.
Nick, greetings.
Greetings, Thea.
Greetings.
So, is Unity being forced to be squished together with things that you don't like?
It is and it isn't. In Unity, apologies, there's some distortions. We're not quite sure where they're coming from exactly. In Unity, you've come to terms with the parts of yourself that you didn't like in duality. So in duality, there is parts of you that you love and parts of you that you don't love. That is the dynamic of duality. But in unity, all parts of you have come to terms with a form of acceptance of yourself, whether they're good parts or bad parts of yourself.
Interesting. So, when you reach Unity, do you realize that you were made by the creator to be either light or dark?
Well, when you reach unity, you realize that you've been both of these things for the entire time, all the way throughout the course of progression that you've had in existence and reality.
But there's a light or dark that we choose to express more often than not.
No, that's just your timeline. You are the darkest of night and you are the brightest of lights at all times, and you're ever gradient in between these two places, but not in this life. So you only get to experience one life in this life, whereas a being of the 4th and 5th dimensions and 6th dimensions, they experience more of these lives at the same time through entanglements than you would. So they're experiencing more parts of themselves, the dark parts and the light parts.
So you really are you equal parts light and dark in Unity?
You are technically, but those who have certain souls typically choose to act in ways that are in alignment with one side or the other. This is dependent on the preference of will into reality.
And what determines that preference?
The soul's origin, typically.
And where do souls originate from?
This is very, very complex. And souls originate ultimately from everywhere, but what determines if someone's soul comes from Orion or Pleiades or from some higher star system, that is dependent on when their soul was culled from the creator's energies originally. Now, this culling that we're referring to is the actual moment when the spirit becomes a soul for the first time. And that leaves an imprint on your soul, a guideline or blueprint of success in the course of your life through your growth and development.